See again. Once again, I'm not Miss Street, but I'm Miss Ramsey, first grade teacher at Glenwood Elementary. I have a helper here with me today. His name is Professor Ramsey, or also Jonah Ramsey, my little boy, but we'll call him Professor Ramsey. All right, so first off, let's get started with some subitizing. So how many more do I need to make 9? So that's 6. I need how many? That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. One on the bottom is 5. So I need 4 more. How many? I have 6. How many more do I need to make 9? 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 3 more. All right. I have 4. How many more do I need to make 9? 5. And I have 3. How many more do I need to make 9? 6. 6 and 3 is 9. All right. So we are going to talk some more about MD3. So here's what MD3 is. MD3 is tell time in hours and half hours using analog and digital clocks. So tell time in hours and half hours using analog and digital clocks. So that's what we're going to work on again today. So yesterday we learned a little bit about eggs and how the eggs, what they have to do with a clock. So if you remember, there are how many eggs in an egg carton? There are 12 eggs in an egg carton. And we said that if we took some of those eggs away, if we took half of the eggs away, we would have 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because half of 12 is 6. So to get a whole carton of eggs, we need 12 whole eggs. You need the 12 eggs. Or if you only do half a carton of eggs, you only need 6. Okay? So we figured out that it is the same thing on a clock. So let's look at our clock from yesterday. So there are 12 numbers on a clock. And if you go halfway, we go down to the 6, okay? So here's our chart from yesterday. We're measuring with time. So we have our analog clock. This one is our analog clock. Our analog clock shows us the face of the clock. It shows us the hands of the clock right here. And it shows us the numerals or the numbers. Well, if we look over at the digital clock, it also shows us the hour. The hour goes first, and it shows us the minutes. So it is a digital clock. So they show us the same things, just in a different way. Okay. So where can we find clocks like this? Well, most of us see digital clocks more than we see analog clocks. So my little boy, or Professor Jonah back there, he has a Lego clock. This is his alarm clock. It's his digital alarm clock. So it says on there that right now it is 11:05. So it's 11:05 on his digital clock. So 11 is the hour and 5 is the minute. It's 5 after. I also have an alarm clock. This one is mine. I can't tell you how many years I've had it. It is old, but it's showing us the time. 11 is the hour, so it's 11:04. Mine's a minute late, so it's 11:04 on that clock. Another place you probably see digital clocks is on your cell phone. So let's see if I can get mine to come up. All right, it's showing that right now is, well, you probably can't see it. There we go. It's 11:05. 11:05 on my cell phone. I'm sure all your parents or even you guys have Fitbit watches or smart watches, and so they're usually digital time. Sometimes they're analog. I don't even have an analog clock at my house, but there are some places that you can find analog clocks, and one of those places is at school. So we always have analog clocks hanging up in our classroom at school. Now I'm still at my mother-in-law's house because she has better internet than I do. So I'm going to take you in here because she has an old school cuckoo clock. And it is an analog clock. So it's kind of hard to see, but it's an analog clock. So we've got the the hour hand, that's the short one, and the long one is the minute hand. So while we're doing this, you might hear the cuckoo clock. Who knows? All right. So my little helper, Professor Ramsey, is going to help me out. So we talked about this clock yesterday. And I said that I just made this clock just to have fun. And so we made it just out of numbers. You can make this at home, or you can also just use your spatulas. So whatever you've got, you can use sticks, you can do sidewalk chalk outside. It's kind of cool today though, outside, but you can also do it that way. Okay, so Jonah's going to show us a time. Jonah, can you show us 2 o'clock? So show us 2 o'clock. Show us 2. Yeah. All right, so he's got 2 o'clock on there. So this shorthand, that's our hour. The shorthand is the hour. The longhand is the minutes. So when the minute is up there at the 12, that means 00 or o'clock, right? But I want him to show me what we've been talking about. I want him to show me half past, which we've been talking about. So that means he's going to go down to the 6, if you remember, because when we did half of the eggs, we did 6. But before he does that, hold on just a minute, put it back. Before he does that, the eggs that I did yesterday, today I filled them with jelly beans. So each egg has 5 jelly beans in it, because when we count our minutes, we count by 5s. Okay, so for each time that he moves the spatula, the long minute hand, or I think it's a spoon, whatever, we're going to count by 5s. So he's going to show us 2:30. 2:30. All right, Jonah, help us out. So we're going to go 5. So move the minute hand. Move the minute hand. So he's moved it to 5. You can just leave it there. All right, and then 10. Then 15. Then we have 20. Then we have 25. And we have 30. So he moved it all the way down to the 6. That's our 30 if we're counting by fives. All right, so when you move the long hand and you're counting minutes, you're counting by fives. Now he had showed us 2 o'clock, but he moved it to 2:30. So let's see what that looks like on here. So we've got our hour, our shorthand is pointing to the 2, and our long minute hand is pointing down to the 6. Okay? All right, Jonah, show us a different time. See if you can show us 7 o'clock, Professor Ramsey. Seven o'clock. 7 o'clock. There we go. Now he's showing us 7 o'clock. So the shorthand or the short spatula is going to the 7. The long hand is going up here to the 12. But now I want you to show me, oh, you missed the cuckoo. I heard it. So now I want you to show me 7:30. So show us 7:30. So we're not moving the hour hand. Okay, so we go 5. We're moving our minute hand. 5, 10, 15. Let's get the egg. 15, 20, 25, and then we end up down here at 30. Okay, so that would be showing us 7:30. All right, let's try one more. Jonah, see if you can show us 12 o'clock. Ooh, now that one's really tricky. Good job. He's got it. 12 o'clock is both hands are pointing straight up. The short hand, that's the hour, is pointing up to the 12.
6:30.
And then the long hand is also pointing up to the 12 because that means o'clock. So it's showing us 12 o'clock. Now, Jonah, show us 12:30, but count by fives for us.
Okay, this one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
All right, so he's showing us 12:30. So let's look at this. This is going to go back to our eggs that we've talked about. All right, so the whole clock has 12 numbers on it. And then he's showing us 12:30 or 12:30. So it's going straight up and down on our clock. Might not look like it on here, but it's showing us 12:30. The shorthand is up here on the hour, 12. We went halfway around, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the long hand is down there on the 30.
And
all right, now Jonah, I want you to show them a time on the clock, either by hour or half hour. So show them a time, anytime, and we're going to see if you guys can guess what time it is. Shout it out at home. All right, let's see if you can figure it out. So his shorthand is going to the 10. His long hand is going to the 12. So what time is that, Jonah?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. All right, show us one more. All right, shout it out if you can figure it out. So the short hand is going to the 4. That's the hour hand. The long minute hand is going down to the 6, which means 30. So what time did you show them?
4:30.
4:30, yes. All right, guys, we've had a good time talking to you once again about measurement, telling time, or measuring with telling time. So we talked about our standard, tell time in hours and half hours using an analog and digital clocks. So we looked at examples of each. Professor Ramsey back there showed us some times on each. So I hope that helped you guys out a little bit. So we might see you again tomorrow, or maybe Miss Street, or who knows, it could be a surprise. We love you guys. We miss you guys, and have a good day.